and welcome to the Mike Leaf Show here on the Warrior Sports Network. I'm joined today and all season by Winona State Warriors head basketball coach Mike Leaf. And Coach, practice started a little over a week ago for you. This has got to be like Christmas morning for you, these days leading up to the beginning of the season. You just have to be excited to get going.
Absolutely, and we're just waiting for the snow to fall, that's for sure. But no, we've got pretty much, started on the 15th, got a week under our belt, and I got some new guys on the floor, so it was exciting to see them out there with some of our other guys, older guys that have a little experience, and they've been working in very, very well. So, I knock on wood, we don't have but just maybe one minor injury, but otherwise everybody's healthy and, like I said, working hard.
What are you seeing from your guys so far, starting to learn how to play together and kind of how they fit in the system?
Yeah, it's, I think it's not so much a system, but it's the fundamentals and just going over those things. The guys had a commitment to work over the summer months on some individual work and, of course, lifting weights, and then we bring them on board here and they go through some of those same things. So we try and get all that stuff out of the way, the conditioning, and so we get right into the fundamentals for the first week, and now we're starting to get into more of the 5-on-5, knowing that we've got a game in actually a week from tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So just trying to put those pieces of the puzzle together. We've got to determine a couple people if they're going to redshirt or not, and it's basically getting them to recognize strengths and weaknesses out of different players, mm-hmm. and having them work together out there in the court.
And it has to be nice for you, a lot of familiar faces from last year. You have 7 kids returning who had at least 10 starts for you last season. So the continuity is there, bringing back a large piece of a team that went 20-10 and advanced to the postseason last year.
Oh, absolutely. And they show some great leadership out there, and the younger guys pick up real quickly. Mm-hmm. And, it's the type of team where, that first week of school, they want the cell phone numbers of the incoming, and they want to make sure that they're already a part of the team and out there in the court working on their skills. So it's nice having that leadership, and as I told them the other day, you got to take it day to day and game by game, but we're always pushing ourselves to have some good things happen.
You mentioned leaders. Who are some of the kids who have really stepped up and maybe with the way they're playing or maybe vocally or off the court? Who are some of the kids who you've been really impressed with?
Well, I think there's actually quite a few, which is nice to have. Of course, Ben Fisher, one of our seniors, Brad Meyer, Bryce Welch, and a couple of those guys. Bryce, he's a hard-working young man, and he does a lot of his by example. Brad can do both, and he's a little bit more vocal, and Ben, of course, is a vocal as well. Mm-hmm. But Ben he's probably in the best shape I've ever seen him. There's not an ounce of body fat on him, and he's just a hard-nosed kid out there, and I think also having that football mentality from back in the day can help him as well. But you can go down the line. C.J. Erickson has been in the program a year, but he's a good leader. Clayton Vetty, there's quite a few that step it up.
Moving into some of the play on the court, when you look at the roster, there's just a tremendous amount of depth on your team, and not just in one position, all over the floor. How nice is it to know that if somebody needs a breather, needs some time on the sideline, that you have another body that's there ready to go in?
Oh, it's tremendous, and it's when you get into our league, and it's so physical that it's a really, really long season, and I don't think people actually realize that the pounding, especially our big guys inside take. So having that extra 1 or 2 players that are able to come in and contribute, even to give somebody a quick breather for, may it be, 4 or 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. So that I think is going to be a big positive for us. And then in the same time, there are some teams in that we're going to be playing up against that may not have that depth, and it takes its toll. And when you get down to that last 7-8 minutes of the game, we'll be much fresher. Mm-hmm. So it's a delicacy, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. And you have the opportunity, or if you want to go, you can go small if you want to. You have a lot of guards that you can play, and you can go big this year. Have 3 and 4 guys who can play down on the block. How nice is it to have that depth, especially down there underneath the basket?
Well, I really am a firm believer that you got players out there on the floor that are able to do more than one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you this, someone like an Anthony Tucker comes on board, and everybody thinks of him as a scorer, but he's a great ball handler. He can run the point. He can give Ben Fisher a breather. Ben Fisher is great coming off of screens. You got someone like a Caleb Palkert who can shoot the three-pointer at 6'10". So you got a great deal of versatility. And someone like Kellen Taylor, who's his first year for us playing, and he worked hard over the summer, and he can do a lot of those same things. John Wahlberg, and I can go on through a lot of the names, but you can have guys that can play post defense, can post up, yet can still shoot the three, handle the basketball, and they've got a lot of different skills. And that's the type of players that we recruit, because I think it's so much more difficult to scout and defend.
You mentioned Caleb Palkert, and we will hear from Caleb here in our next segment on the Mike Leaf Show. But talking about Caleb and Anthony Tucker, 2 transfers who have come in from D1 programs, what have you seen so far that they can add to this team here?
Well, I think they're Caleb didn't play a tremendous amount, and so a little bit of his weakness is that he needs to gain some strength. Mm-hmm. But he's a good shot blocker, and he's a presence in the middle, and that's a real positive, especially when we're playing a lot more aggressive defense on the perimeter. Anthony came from a great program, and he's got some great skills out there, and he's very savvy on the floor, and really makes great decisions. But it's not like they're saviors by any means. We've got others that are as good or even better. So, just having that good balance out there is going to be a big positive.
Well, it's going to be an exciting season, that's for sure. I have no doubt about it. It's going to be a lot of fun to see once the Warriors finally do take the floor. We're going to pause here for a moment. When we come back, the voice of the Warriors, Matt Prink, is going to sit down with Caleb Palkert and talk to him about the transition back to Winona State and back to the Midwest.
So Ryan, how many acres you picked this week?
Got about 200 done. How about you?
Yeah, I still got to get my beans out of there, but the corn's all out.
Yeah, that's good.
CJ, you got that alfalfa planted?
I got that alfalfa planted. It's going to be the best alfalfa planted you've ever seen.
Yo, you going to get them deer in there in the fall?
Oh, get them deer in there real nice. Some 6 12-point bucks right there.
Oh, baby.
Wait, hold on. What time is it?
Oh, it's about like 6 o'clock, November 8th, man.
6 o'clock? I got to get up to the city to the barn.
Man, we're in a barn.
No, the barn.
Are you looking for great off-campus housing? Great River Management and Sales has a large selection of houses and apartments representing many of Winona's property owners. Owners and renters rely on Great River Management. Stop by the Great River Boat at Main and Broadway and see what we can do for you.
At Hy-Vee, your health is what matters most.
That's why we offer hundreds of organic and heart-healthy foods.
Expertise in disease management and over 100 in-store dietitians. We'll customize a diet and exercise program for you and your family. We're your personal health team, here to keep you healthy and happy.
You can make a lot of new friends when you save them money on trucks. Like a new 2011 Toyota Tacoma. Our regular cab is under $21,000. The best-selling compact pickup for 5 years in a row. Making new friends every day at Dahl Toyota in Winona.
I chose Winona State because student athletes graduate at a higher rate.
I can stay closer to home.
And being an important part of the community.
I chose Winona State because I can double major.
And take part in campus activities. I chose Winona State because the classrooms are smaller.
Students have more time to spend with their instructors.
And I can compete for a national championship.
I chose Winona State for all these reasons and more.
I chose.
I chose.
I chose. I chose Winona State.
To Frady Caddis. Anxiety of banking, money, and credit planning. To assume qualities of frightened feline. i.e. scaredy cat.
Some people have financial fraidy catus. Going to Merchants Bank, you're not going to get that. In my experience, I have never anyway. It's still easy to do business with the Merchants Bank, the old-fashioned way. Go in and get your paperwork done, and your money's in your account, and you're on your way. And that's why Merchants Bank is...
To the Mike Leaf Show here, and now joining me, one of the newest Warriors here at Winona State, Caleb Palkert. Caleb, thanks for coming on the show, and welcome to Winona State.
Thanks for having me.
A lot of new guys coming in this season. You and Anthony Tucker, both Division I athletes. How's the team been meshing so far since practice started just over a week ago?
I think we're looking pretty good. We're making a lot of improvement. Chemistry's starting to build up. It's looking pretty good.
Coming from a Division I AA program in South Carolina, coming up back to Minnesota, how has the transition been?
It's been interesting. There's a lot of different aspects from Division I to Division II, but I'm liking it a lot. So it's just a lot different, but I like it.
By the standards of Warrior basketball, they had a little bit of a down season last year. Very used to going to the NCAA playoffs. With the addition of athletes like you, Tucker, and the depth that was already here, how do you feel this team can finish in the NSIC?
I think we have really good chances. If we can get our chemistry down and everything, I think we can take it pretty far.
You look also at the preseason rankings. You guys were picked to finish first in the NSIC. Do those preseason rankings add a little bit of pressure, or do you guys try not to worry about that too much?
I try to think about it. I don't really see rankings meaning that much as far as that, because it's preseason. We haven't done anything yet, so I figure we had to go out and prove ourselves first.
Also looking at the beginning of the season, you guys get underway next week, November 3rd against Eau Claire, but we can all pretty much imagine that game up at the barn in Williams Arena. You're from the cities, from Chaska, Minnesota. How big is that game to you?
It's going to be a fun game. I know I have a lot of people coming to that game, and it's going to be a good atmosphere. It's going to be a good competition to play in. So I think it'll be good for the team. It's going to be an all-around good game.
Looking at trying to get a fast start here in the NSIC and even in the exhibition games, what are you trying to work on individually to kind of hone your skills, and then maybe what has the team really been stressing early in the season so far?
A lot of passing. I know last year I think was a kind of an issue of passes going astray, bad passes and stuff like that. So coach has been kind of stressing, making a pass, a good pass, and that's one thing that we've been working on a lot. For me personally, I've been working on just footwork, a lot of footwork, and defense, just getting help side, seeing the ball and the man is kind of a big thing for me.
All right, well, coming up on the rest of the Mike Leaf Show, Grant Wall sits back down with head coach Mike Leaf. Don't go anywhere. Mike Leaf Show will continue.
Power, intensity, courage, teamwork, reaching back for more, knowing you're a champion. That's our purple. Winona State Athletics. Find your purple.
knows what matters most.
That's why we offer hundreds of organic and heart-healthy foods.
Expertise in disease management and over 100 in-store dietitians. We'll customize a diet and exercise program for you and your family. We're your personal health team, here to keep you healthy and happy.
Financial Frady Caddis. Anxiety of banking, money, and credit planning to assume qualities of frightened feline, i.e. scaredy cat.
I never heard of financial Frady Caddis, but I think I had it. To me, financial Frady Caddis is when you walk into a bank and it scares you. Nobody's smiling, nobody will help you, and you're not quite sure where to go. Merchants Bank is different. You walk in and you're greeted with a smile. So they make you feel comfortable right off the bat. That's why Merchants Bank is the bank that service builds.
Well, the Warrior Club provides a basis for our scholarship foundation.
And our goal is to try to generate a minimum of $125,000 to support the efforts of Winona State University coaches in the recruitment of outstanding students.
We're just like the general student population that as tuition increases, we need to continue to raise the number of dollars that the tuition goes up.
And when you think about the responsibility that the Warrior Club has in contributing to the overall success of Warrior Athletics, it's really a tremendous responsibility of all the volunteers that we have involved with the program.
Well, there's several different ways to become a member. The easiest way is to go out to WinonaStateWarriors.com. There's a Warrior Club link. You click on that link, and then there's a Becoming a Member icon. You can just click on that. It'll bring you to the Foundation's website. It's 2-3 clicks, that's all it takes. You can also donate some time, which is greatly appreciated. We have the 4 different big events that happens.
And we kind of started off with the membership drive that goes on in the spring, starting in April and going onward. The summer we have the Warrior Club Golf Classic, sponsored by Merchants Bank and RTP. And then traditionally in the fall we have the sports auction, which is here on campus. And then we kind of close the calendar year up with the Lewiston Auto Holiday Basketball Tournament.
It's fun to be a part of because it is part of a team, and you become part of a member. You get to know other people around town and other alumni and friends that all support a good common cause in Warrior Athletics.
Each member hopefully feels a part of the total program and the successes that the coaches and student athletes have demonstrated, not only in the past, but those basic things that will hopefully continue to grow in the future.
You can look at the success of the Warrior Athletics, and you can definitely draw a linear correlation between the growth that the Warrior Club has had, and the funding that they've provided to the athletic department. It's been pretty cool.
Welcome back to the Mike Leaf Show here on the Warrior Sports Network. And Coach Leaf, the start of the basketball season is just right around the corner. Games start next week with the 3-game exhibition slate. These exhibition games don't count on the official win-loss record, but what are you looking for when your guys step on the court for those games?
Well, I think any team, you end up playing and beating on each other in practice day in and day out, and so it gives us an opportunity to play against some other competition. Exhibition is a great way, obviously, to see what you have accomplished to that point in time. We start off with Eau Claire, and they've always been a scrappy team. They do some full court work. The Minnesota Gophers follow that, and then St. Thomas. And obviously the Gophers are going to be, I think, phenomenal this year, and St. Thomas is always on top of their league. So it'll be 3 great games for us. And again, trying to put those pieces to the puzzle together. And they come upon you very quickly. And it's, I think from my standpoint, my philosophy is that a lot of times they come a little bit too quick because we don't have everything in yet that we want to put in for the regular season. But they do give you a great, I guess, during that timetable to see where you're at thus far. So we're looking forward to that, and I like the fact that we're playing. You know, we've got a couple days off in between those, but we get them rolling so we can make some corrections in those areas and then play another one.
Gets you kind of feeling like you're in the season. You know, you have a game and then have to prepare for another game. Gets you kind of mentally into that frame of mind that the regular season brings.
It does. In our regular season, we pretty much all our conference games are back-to-back. And I think that's advantageous if you're fortunate enough to get to a regional or even your conference tournament that you're playing 3 games in 4 days. So I like that schedule. And again, once you get that exhibition game under your belt, but at the same time you're still looking at some things that you're trying to add and put into that first game with the regular season. But those games are just as important. They really are, because it's a stepping stone every game that you play. And we want to get out there and do those things that we've been practicing and have that carryover. The communication on the defensive end, the offensive boards, just a good solid man-to-man defense, and then progress on that and build a confidence. So looking forward to it.
And the big one on the schedule for the exhibition season you touched on already is a trip up to Minneapolis to play the University of Minnesota. Once you get there, there's still a game to be played, but how excited are your guys to be up there in a Big Ten atmosphere against a Big Ten team like Minnesota?
Oh, I've been a Gopher fan all my life, and I think they brought Tubby Smith on board, and he's just done a phenomenal job, and the excitement up in the Twin Cities and throughout the state is just absolutely phenomenal. So, they've got like their Samson at 7'3", 7'4", and they're good, they're quick, they're going to come at you, they're physical, and but it's fun to play that type of a game. I hope we don't get blown out. We just want to play solid, and but you're playing against some great competition, and it can only help you become a better team. So I love the Gophers that they give you a little guarantee, but they share the wealth with the other Division II schools in the state, and it gives us an opportunity to be able to get to the Twin Cities and play in a high caliber setting. So playing the barn is a lot of fun.
And Minnesota, they certainly have some NBA or professional level talent on their team. And speaking of professional level talent, this year is going to be the 5-year anniversary of the 2006 national championship team. There'll be a whole weekend dedicated to that reunion later in the season. 4 guys off of that 2006 championship team are still playing professionally in Europe and in Australia. How excited are you to be able to have those guys back here and celebrate a team like that 06 title team?
Oh, it'll be great. The timing is tough for those 4 guys just because they probably won't be able to make it. There might be an exception on one, but just because their year is going on, but the entire group, it was really a close-knit team, and it's special for them, and it's something that it's a really difficult task to achieve, and those guys went into that championship year and with high expectations, and a lot of times we played games where we won in overtime, and we hit one at the buzzer, or we were the underdogs and made it out to the Elite Eight, and then it was like, hey, let's do it. And so it'll be neat to have the guys back. It's a special group, as I think every year is, but there were some people that played before them that really set the tone, and those guys took it from them, and what they did was, I thought, phenomenal.
With 5 years of hindsight that you can look back, what's the one moment or the one memory that you'll take from that 06 group?
I think that it was a number of things, because we had some controversy that we had to go through during the course of the year, and it was a good controversy, but we weren't playing our best basketball, but we were winning, and we had to overcome that, and it was almost like we were playing to not lose instead of playing to win. And once we got through that, then we had the controversy of Zach Melvick, breaking his foot, and we don't think we have him for the rest of the year. So it was just phenomenal how that group came together, and we ran the point by committee, and then all of a sudden Zach comes back and never practiced. He was just in the pool and strengthening the ankle. They threw a brace on him, and next thing you know, he's in the national out at the Elite Eight, and he plays, I believe it was 26, 27, and then 35 minutes in the championship game, and he wins a championship on a broken leg. That was just absolutely crazy. And but what a competitor all of them were. And like I said, it'll be a family for the rest. They'll be family members for the rest of their lives.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, Coach. That's all the time we have for this week's installment of the Mike Leaf Show. You can join us every week through the basketball season here on the Warrior Sports Network for new episodes of the Mike Leaf Show. Until next time, thanks for watching.